Hey, you guys, welcome to our group wide training for June. I am Kim, your Superstar Director, and I've got Leah and Jamie and Hope here, and we'll hang out for a minute while we wait and see if anybody else hops on to join us. Jamie is actually going to be taking the lead tonight, and she's going to walk us through some numbers. We're going to talk compensation. We're going to talk all kinds of fun stuff. And she has graciously offered to take the lead on that. Before we start, I just wanted to remind you guys to keep your microphones muted so that we can keep the background noise down. And then if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and Leah and Hope and I can kind of monitor the chat. I see Hope with her sweet little baby. Oh, I love it. We will monitor the chat and we can try to answer any questions there, or if it's something that Jamie can touch on at the end, if it's something she didn't cover or she can elaborate on, we can go ahead and do that in the live as well. There was something else that I was going to mention and I forgot what it was. So, oh well.
So you can interject if you think about it.
I'll think of it like at the most inopportune time, but I'll write it down.
Make a note.
Okay, so let me make Jamie a host, and then she should be able to share. But Jamie, go ahead and do your little intro too, so that those that might not know you will get to know you.
I am Jamie. I live in Marshall. I am the director of Scented Brick Bosses, and I joined Scentsy in August of 2016, so I'm coming up on my 7 years, which is crazy to me to think about. I joined as just to get my own rewards, and now here we are. So I'm going to be talking about PRV, commission plan, awards that you can earn, things like that. So I will try to share my screen. I'm going to apologize in advance if the dogs do start barking. I have no control over them. What walks by. So let me get in here. I haven't shared screen in a long time, so bear with me here. Oh, maybe, hold on, where'd it go? Maybe not, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves while I figure it out.
It should say right at the bottom in the middle. Does it say share screen in green?
Well, it does, but then like it won't pop up with, maybe it's because I just need to do my desktop and then I can.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. So let me minimize this in the background. Okay. So can you see the compensation plan? Okay. So everyone, you can Google this. It's on our workstation or it's in our catalogs. If you don't have our catalogs, it's okay. Everything's digital nowadays. You don't necessarily have to have it. But this is a nice thing to just always have at your fingertips. So I usually just have one saved on my phone or my desktop. And this comes in handy when I want to try to figure out what my paycheck is going to be at the end of each month. So just kind of keep this in mind. I'll go through them each section of their own, and then we can kind of go from there. But this is a really handy one. Okay, starting with essential consultants. So everyone, when they join, becomes an essential consultant. So as soon as you join, your PRV is going to be 0. Everyone goes back to 0 on the first of every month. So taking it back to the basics, PRV is your personal retail volume. When you're an essential consultant, you will get paid back 20% of whatever you sell in a given month on that PRV. Sorry, she was growling. So normally $1 equals 1 PRV. There are some exceptions for that. Examples for Disney. Licensed product cotton cleanups are another one that you don't get full PRV in your whiff boxes. There are a couple of other ones on there that I can't think of off the top of my head, but those are important. If you're trying to get active in the month, you need to be aware of that. When you're trying to close a party in a $200 order, you want to make sure that yes, your dollar amount might equal $200, but your PRV is not going to equal $200. So when you're in that party, in your workstation, it'll show you what your PRV is going to be. You want to make sure that that is at 200 before you close that to become active for the month of that given month. You have to be active one time in the 12-month period to stay as an active consultant. If you are someone who has a team, in order for you to get paid on your team, you have to be active 1 month out of 4 out of your 12-month period. So every 3 months you have to, every 4. So yeah, you have to get active 3 times a year in order to get paid on your team and to not lose your downline. People get a little bit confused about that. So just gonna say it again. Stay active, stay a consultant, and then 1 month out of the 12-month period, you have to be active for $200 PRV. In order to keep your team, you have to be active every 4 months. You will get an email that will tell you, hey, you're gonna lose your downline this month, or you're gonna go inactive. So make sure to get in that $200 party.
Hey, Jamie.
Okay. Yeah.
Really quick, I just wanted to touch on that piece because, like you said, a lot of people get confused by that. And so I think I can't see who all is on the call right now, but whether you're on or you're watching the replay, if you are leader above and you have a team, that you have to remember, like Jamie said, it's not the same as it is for your personal business. It's once out of every 4 months you have to get active, and you will get notified by Sensi, like she said. But what I was going to say is, if you are a consultant that has other consultants under you that have a team, make sure that you're paying attention to your reporting so that you can also touch base with those people if they show up on your reports and it says that they're going to lose their downline. You can see that right in your reporting. If you look at your downline report or your frontline report, or your leadership report, you can see who's going to go inactive, but you can also see who's going to lose their downline. And so I always try to take the opportunity at the beginning of the month to reach out to those people, even though they're getting an email from Sensi that will tell them that they have to get active. I try to reach out to them and say, hey, this is your month to get 200. If you want to keep your team, how can I help you? So it's the same type of conversation you would have if they're going to go inactive, but you have to remember this is every 4 months, because people might be like, oh, I thought I only had to get 200 once a year, which is true for their own business. But if they start building a team, it does have to be every 4 months. And so making sure that you're in tune with what your team needs to be have happening in order for them to keep their team is going to help you continue to build, because you want to make sure you're in tune with that as well. Yes, Hope made a good point. Not everybody checks their email. And sometimes emails go into spam. Even though we get tons of emails from Sensi, I have some that go into spam, just like random.
Yeah, mine go in like 2 separate folders for whatever reason on my Outlook. I'm like, mine go to like my everyday one for whatever stupid reason, and Sensi goes to a completely different folder. It drives me bonkers, and I don't get notification for that folder. So just make sure you're checking.
Exactly.
Okay. Can you see this welcome to Sensi thing? Okay. So these are all in the workstation. So I just went and pulled them from the workstation in the training tab. If you ever need to kind of know, this is kind of a good guide as you are wanting to promote to see what you're going to need to get to that next level. So essential, like I said, everyone who joins starts as an essential consultant. So you're going to get 20% back on all the PRV that you sell for that month. In order to promote to certified, which is our next one, you're going to need 1,000 PRV. And anytime, it doesn't have to be in a month, it's just your lifetime PRV. From the day you start until you hit that 1,000, you're going to be an essential consultant. Once you hit that, you're then going to be a certified consultant. So then at that point, you're going to get a 5% raise, which is huge. So as soon as you hit that 1,000, you are guaranteed to get 25% back on your PRV each month. So I'm going to open this one. Okay. So now to your lead consultant. So these get a little bit trickier. So anytime you get to be we skipped over certified. Hold on. I have to move my thing. If I can see it. There we go. This is the one I wanted first. Okay. So you hit certified. So that means you've made that $1,000 PRV for your lifetime. So in order to remain active, for you to get as much as you can, you want to hit $200 PRV each month. It's a good starting point if you don't have a team yet to make sure you're getting that active status each month. There's, I think in my entire 7 years of Sensi, I've only had 1 month that I didn't hit my 200 PRV. It's just something that I always strive for. It's just a small goal, something that you just start with. So in order to stay active, you want to make sure to hit that 200 PRV. Once you get that, like I said, you get 25% on all of that you sell. The biggest perk after that is if you sell 2,000 PRV in a month, you get an automatic 5% raise on top of that. So you get a 30% payout for 2,000 PRV. So if you're sitting at 1,999 PRV, you're going to want to go in and get that extra dollar because you're going to get an extra $100 that month. So it makes complete sense to just spend that dollar to pay your shipping for your light bulb or whatever it is to get an extra $100 a month. So this is going to be your highest rate. Everyone now at that point, once you've hit certified at the beginning of each month, you're going to go back to that certified consultant. So Kim, who's a superstar director, before she hits her numbers, we all bump back down to that certified number. Everything is 0. We have to start from the beginning. So this is where you're going to want to start trying to work on building your team. So you have your front line that you're going to want to start building. And then this is where the other numbers kind of come into play, that once you start getting a team, you're going to have other bubbles on your workstation. So you have your 500 PRV in a month. And then in order to get your next promotion, you're going to want to have 1,000 GWV, which is group wholesale volume. So that includes you and everyone under you in order to get the next one. And then you have to have 1 active frontline in your downline. So now we're going to go back to lead. So now we've going from getting $500 or $200 each month up to $500 each month. So this is what everyone who is a leader strives for. So you want to make sure to get $500 PRV each month if you can, in order to get paid on your team. The one nice thing about lead is once you've hit your lead title and you are paid at rank, which I'll go over in just a second, if you have your 500 PRV, you have your 1,000 GWV and your 1 active consultant, you will now show up in the location finder on their website. So if someone, for example, I live in Marshall, if they go to type in Marshall, Michigan, I'll pop up because I'm higher than a lead consultant. So once you hit lead consultant, that's great. But in order to stay on the workstation, in order for them to be able to find you with the search button, you have to hit lead numbers each month. Now, something else to keep in mind is, let's say end of June. So you've hit lead, you hit your promotion, June 30th, great. June 1st or July 1st, you're going to log in and it's still going to say that you're a certified consultant. Don't freak out. Promotions don't run until payday because they have to make sure that the numbers actually match. So your promotion won't show until the 9th of the following month. So just kind of keep that in mind because I know I get a lot of messages. They're like, wait, I promoted, but it's not showing on here. And it won't until payday runs and then it'll show up. So it's great to get promoted to lead, but you want to stay at lead in order to keep up on the consultant locator, because that's where you get the random orders. Because I know Kim just had a really great order the other day that she was not expecting. So this one, again, you get 25%. And then this is where you're starting to earn your bonuses on your team. So your personal wholesale volume, and then whatever your front line is as well. And then again, if you sell 2,000 PRV, you're going to get the extra 5%. And okay, now we're going to go to star. This is where you're going to see the one common denominator here is 500 PRV each month in order to get paid at each title. So that's why once you start growing your downline, you're going to want to shoot for the 500 PRV each month. So this one, 500 PRV, your group wholesale volume, so that's you and anyone under you, is going to be 2,500 is what you need to get star. And you have to have 2 active frontline. So it's great if you have 5 people on your team, but you have to have 2 that hit $200 each month or in that given month for you to promote. Again, you get the 25%. And then this is where your bonuses on your teams kind of really start to grow. So this is where you really want to grow wide. You want to have that team under you that's not only vertical, is that the word I'm looking for? Right? Yeah, vertical. You want to go horizontal. So you want to have a bunch of people in it. It's been a long day today, friends. And then again, the 2,000, you'll get the 5% extra bonus, you'll get 30% based on your teams. Then you'll notice a huge jump. So you go from your star consultant at 2,500, and then the next jump after that is quite a big one. So in order to hit superstar consultant, you have to now hit 6,000 GWV. So again, you have that 500, that's your base on every single one, from your lead all the way up to superstar director. You have to hit that 500, and then this is where it hits 3. So from your superstar consultant on, you're always going to have 3 active frontline, 500 PRV, and then whatever your GWV is for that month. So this one's 6,000 to hit your superstar consultant one. So that one, it's quite a big jump, but you're really trying to grow your team deep. This is preparing you to become director. This is where you're trying to really hard to grow that team, make sure that they are also promoting as well as sponsoring, and kind of making sure that they're getting their PRV as well as getting their teams active as well. So again, you just get higher and higher for what you're getting paid on. And then the other big jump, and the only thing that is scary with becoming a director, which we'll talk about next, is that this is the only title that you potentially can lose. So it gets a little bit tricky. I won't go super far into it, but you have to hit qualifications for your director every month. But then if you don't hit it within a 3 consecutive month period, you get dropped down to what's called director Q, and then you have 3 months to get those numbers back. So it's scary. I remember talking to Kim about it before I was hitting director, and I was like, I don't know if I want this yet. I'm not ready. But your team grows, it grows with you. You just have to continuously be sponsoring. Because as you'll hear in this, the team that gets you to director is not going to be the same team that keeps you there. So you're going to constantly have to be bringing in new blood. You're going to have to constantly be sponsoring, doing the things, teaching them all the things. So this one, in order to hit, you now notice we have 4 bubbles, which gets a little bit scary, but it's easier. So you have 500 PRV, that's the same, 3 active frontline, and then this one you have 10,000 group wholesale volume and 2,000 team wholesale volume. So Hope, since you're under me, I'm going to use you as an example. So this one gets a little bit tricky. So I know when I had trouble, so before Hope promoted, our numbers were the same when I hit director. So my group wholesale volume and my team wholesale volume was 10,000 each of them. When I was getting ready to promote to my next one, or when Hope promoted to director, my TWV with my team minus Hope had to have 2,000 of TWV. So it gets a little bit tricky. I'm not going to just dive super far into it because it is kind of a numbers game, but definitely talk with your director if you are kind of getting up to that point where you want to know more and dive into it. I don't want to lose anyone because it took me a long time to figure it out. So you always want to be making sure that you are staying above your team. So if your team is promoting, your team underneath you can out promote you. They can outrank you, which then means you're not going to be getting paid on your team. So even if you are at a star, someone else can jump up and hit director numbers. You then aren't going to get paid on that team, which is fine. Some people aren't doing this to sponsor. They're just wanting it for a little extra money. But in order to continue to grow, you want to make sure to stay one step ahead of your team, with the exception of director. So that they pay you if you have directors underneath you. Again, it's a little bit trickier with that. So this one is kind of where you kind of earn on your things, but you also have more responsibilities once you become that director. So like I said, you want to stay ahead of your team. Promotions won't stay till payday. And should I go further than director? Just like a brief overview of what they are? Yes, okay.
So I was talking and then I was muted. I was just going to say, I would just kind of touch on it. Okay. You don't have to dive all the way in, but I would just touch on it.
Okay. The next one is star director. So this one gets kind of crazy. So we have 500 PRV. Again, that's your base. You get 30,000 GWV, 6,000 TWV, 2 first generation directors, and 3 active consultants. So your 500 and your 3 stays the same ever since hitting director or superstar. Excuse me. So you have to have 2 first-generation directors underneath you. So it doesn't have to be someone who's directly underneath you for that director. It can be anyone in that downline who then promotes over who you're with. So I don't want to like name names. So I'll just know that it has to be in your lineage. It doesn't have to be your direct person underneath you. So for example, when Hope promoted to director, there was someone that I had sponsored who had her under her, and then she became my first director because she jumped that person. So it doesn't have to be your direct downline, it just has to be in your generation. It gets kind of confusing, but I promise it makes sense when you get up to that point. And then superstar director is, this one's big, 500 PRV, 80,000 GWV, 10,000 TWV, so your team wholesale volume. So this number is without your directors, 4 generation directors, and then 3 active frontline. So that one's scary. I hope to someday get there, but whew. So that is kind of just the overview for that. Any questions on this before I go to what else you can earn with this? No? Okay. So the other thing I kind of wanted to touch base on are the awards that you can earn with Sensi. So that can start from your day one. So as soon as you sign up, you have 15 days to complete your Shooting Star Award. So you want to earn that by getting $500 in PRV within the first 15 days of your Sensi journey. So with that, you are eligible for a Shooting Star kit, which sometimes they run specials. I know they have in the past where you can earn that for free. Typically it's a $200 kit that's usually worth like $300 for that you do get PRV on for that. So that's nice. So that's just, like I said, that's a Shooting Star. You want to get that within your first 15 days, 500 PRV. And then from day 1 to day 70, you have what's Shooting Star. I lied. Sensational Start. Sorry. Sensational Start is your first 70 days. Level 1, you sell $500 or with one sponsor, or you sell $1,500 on your own. So I earned this one in the first 70 days of my Sensi journey. So again, you have to sell 1,500 PRV on your own, or you can sell 500 PRV and have 1 active frontline underneath you. So it kind of helps set you up for your promoting or your sponsoring and those types of things. Level 2 is you can sell 3,000 PRV within those first 70 days, or you can sell 1,500 and you can have 1 active frontline at $200. And then level 3, you can sell 6,000, or you can sell 3,000 and you have 2 active frontline. And then that gets you to 2 new frontlines as well that are active. The other things that are nice that Sensi offers is something called the Annual Sales Excellence Award. This is where you sell 30,000 PRV in a Sensi calendar year, which is May 1st until April 30th. Which breaks down to 2,500 PRV each month. So not only are you getting your extra 5% each month, so you're getting 30% based on your PRV, you then at the end of the year, if you hit 30,000 PRV in that rolling year, you get $1,000 bonus, and you also get a trophy. And then the other one, which is a little bit harder for people, not undoable. That's not the word I was looking for. What word am I looking for? Not unattainable. There we go. Sorry, it's been a doozy of a day, friends. Annual Mentor Award is you have to personally sponsor 14 new consultants who become certified in that year. So if you do that, you get $25 per certified consultant. And then you get a $50 bonus per lead or hire. And then you also get a trophy with that one. So that one is great for trying to grow your team as well. So it comes out to just over 1 person a month that you help hit certified. So that's kind of what I had. That was just a brief overview of everything. Let me know if you have any questions. I went kind of quickly, sorry. But
hey Jamie, so
yeah.
Hope had asked if we would talk about and either you can do it, or if you don't want to do it, I can do it. How to convert GWV and PRV?
Yes.
Like the calculation?
I meant to have that on my sheet, but I didn't. So thank you. because I meant to talk about that. So one PRV, you mean like the 0.75, right? Where you're dividing it? Okay. So if you're having $1,000 as your GWV goal, you want to sell $1,333. So you take that number, you divide it by the 0.75, which is what gets you the number that you need to figure out what your GWV needs, because that isn't the exact number of what your PRV is. So it's always 75% of whatever your PRV is. Right? Or did I say that backwards?
Group or wholesale, team wholesale or group wholesale, WV is 75% of
Okay.
retail. Yes.
Okay. So, whoa, friends. So like director, because this was just one that I was shooting for, you had to sell $13,334 in PRV in order to hit that 10,000 GWV. Because your GWV is 75% of what your PRV is.
So if you're trying to, the way, how much PRV do you need to hit to whatever GWV is what you're aiming for? So if you are at, let's just say, I'm going to do a calculation on my phone because I can't do math that quickly. But let's say, obviously, you want to hit, we're going to say 2,000 GWV, and your GWV is sitting at 1,850. You're going to subtract 1,850 from 2,000 to see what GWV you need to get, right? Which is 150. And then you're going to divide that by 0.75. And that's going to tell you that you need 200 PRV in order to equal 150 GWV. So hopefully that makes sense. It's once you get the hang of it, it's one of those easy things. Like I do it a lot when I'm trying to figure things out for people. But it's an easy way to back into that number. You just multiply the whatever you need, whatever wholesale volume, whether it's team wholesale or group wholesale, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You multiply whatever your wholesale number is, or I'm sorry, you divide it by 0.75. And that'll give you your PRV amount that you need. So it could be whatever, $5, $100,000, it doesn't matter. It's the same calculation. So it's very simple. Once you get it in your head, because there are times, I remember talking to Jamie like early on when I was trying to figure out how much we needed to get as a team to hit director numbers again. What's the dang calculation? But once you get in the routine of doing it, it's super easy. But just kind of try to remember, divide by 0.75 and that'll give you what you need.
And I know there's a graphic somewhere out there where I'll try to find it and post it in the Wax Bars group once we're done. But I still sometimes do it backwards. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. I feel like I need way more than that, but
Yeah, and if you just remember that your wholesale number is going to be smaller than your retail number. So if you do the calculation backwards and you multiply it and it's less, you know that you did it wrong. Because your retail volume, it's just like when you think about anything at the store, right? Like a store is going to buy something at wholesale and they're going to turn around and sell it to you at a higher retail price so that they can make money off of it. And basically the difference between our wholesale and retail is our commission. It's retail with our commission taken out of it. So that's just kind of an easy way to think of it too. Like I've taken my commission out, which is 25% once you hit that certified level. They just use that straight across the board. So it's another one of those things that sounds really confusing until it's not. Once you've done it enough, it's just another thing that you do. And then Lauren had asked a question towards the beginning, and I did answer it, but I just kind of wanted to touch on it in case anybody else missed the question in the chat, but might have had the same one. She said, is the 200 qualifying party a dollar amount or PRV? A qualifying party is 200 in sales, $200 in sales. So $200 worth of product sold. That will get your hostess the rewards that they need. So from a consumer standpoint, from a customer standpoint, $200. From a consultant standpoint, in terms of getting active, PRV, it's 200 PRV, which might be more than $200 in product. So like Jamie said, your licensed products, charitable cause products, whiff
Cotton
boxes,
cleanups.
cotton cleanups, those things are not 1-for-1 PRV. So if you have those items in a party, you're still going to get $10 towards your host base for a pack of cotton cleanups. You're still going to get $35 towards a host base for a whiff box. So that will build up towards the hostess credits. But if you look at the PRV, it's going to be different. Your PRV is going to be less. So a lot of times new consultants will go, well, how come it says this number and this number? Why are my numbers different? And that's when you have the conversation that, okay, this is a 1-for-1. Most of the products are 1-for-1, but we do have those things, those one-off things that are not. And it's all identified for us. So there's no surprises. We always know that they're not 1-for-1. But always think of it that from a customer standpoint, it's dollar value in terms of qualifying party for hostess rewards. But from a consultant standpoint, your PRV may be you may need more than $200 in sales in order to get 200 PRV. So I just kind of wanted to mention that since I answered it in the chat, but some people might not see the chat. And actually, I don't know if the chat comes through in the recording anyway. So that way,
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either. So people who aren't on, if they had that question. And I think that's it. Does anybody else that's on have any other questions or want to dive into any other areas? I have one other thing I was gonna see if Jamie wants to tackle or I can tackle it, no problem. But just something that I know that comes up a lot, and I think it's important to talk about in this, when we're talking about this topic, and that's rank versus title. You want to tackle it?
I'll let you tackle it because
Okay.
I have it written down, but with the way my day went, I can't even think off the top of my head of how that's supposed
Will you
to
do me
go.
a favor and pull up any one of your pages on your screen share? Can you share for me? Any one of them that just has it at the bottom where I want to read what the verbiage is, and then I can talk about it because this question comes up a lot.
You said any of my pages?
Yeah, any of them, like star or superstar consultant is probably a good one.
Oh, yep. Hold on.
Did you
got
close
it
them?
all wonky here. No, they're here. I just have to share my screen again. I'm telling you, it's been a day. Okay. There you go.
Okay, so scroll up a little bit.
Up?
Or
do you mean
farther
down?
up on the page? Yeah, because you're at the bottom of the page, right?
Yep.
Go up a little bit.
There's just this.
I can't see. All I can see is, I can see where it says downline and then bonus. What's above downline? Text.
Hold on. Is anything moving or no?
No.
Okay, because I'm trying.
That's what you're probably moving
the wrong one. Hold please. Now, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going up a little bit more. Okay, so right there where it talks about rank and title, I just want to kind of clarify the difference between them because it can get kind of muddy until it's another one of those things. Once you get it, you get it. But when you're learning, it can be very confusing what the difference is between rank and title. So when you hit the qualifications required for a certain title, you get promoted to that title. Okay, so let's say in May, you got 500 PRV, you got 2,000 or 2,500 group wholesale volume, you had your active frontline, so you promoted to star consultant. Okay, you're going to get paid at star consultant. That is your rank. Okay, now let's say in June, you don't have quite as good of a month. You get your 500, you get your active frontline, but you only get 1,700 group wholesale volume. Okay, so your title is going to stay star consultant because you've hit that title. It doesn't get taken away from you. And I'm going to put it in the little asterisk that if you're a director, that can happen, but we're not going to talk about that right now. You're still a star consultant. Once you hit that title, it doesn't go away. Okay, but if you don't hit all three of those qualifications, you get paid at the rank that you hit the qualifications for. every month. So if you are a title of a star consultant, but you only hit the qualifications for a lead consultant, that's the level you're getting paid at per the compensation plan. Okay. So all of those bonuses and stuff that Jamie talked about, which change as you go up the compensation plan, you're going to get paid those team bonuses based on whatever rank you hit the qualifications for. Okay. So like I said, if you're a star consultant, but you only hit lead numbers, then you get paid as a lead consultant. Even though your title says you're star, you're getting paid at whatever rank you hit that month. And it does come into play, like she said, with the consultant locator. You have to hit a title of lead in order to show up on that consultant locator, but you also have to be paid at lead. So if you hit lead consultant, you're going to show up on there the first month you get paid at lead. But if you don't hit your lead requirements the next month, if you don't have an active frontline or you don't have your 1,000 group wholesale volume, you're not going to show up on the consultant locator. It's something, and it's set up that way on purpose. And I hear a lot of people that are like, well, it's not fair. It's on, that's no one's going to find me if I'm not on there. Well, it's one of the perks, right, of growing and keeping up. It's an incentive, right? It's just like any of the incentives that they offer us. It's an incentive to get paid at lead is to have your name show up on that consultant locator. But I wanted to kind of clarify the difference between rank and title, because a lot of times people will go, well, I'm a star consultant, but I only got paid this percent off of my team. And it all goes based on what qualifications you hit for that specific month. So you could be paid a different title or a different rank every single month with the same title. There are times where I'm a superstar consultant, right? If I don't hit that 10,000 or that, what is it even? 30,000 group wholesale, 80,000 group wholesale. Do I have to hit 30,000? 10? I didn't remember.
Isn't it 80, 10, and then 4?
3. It's 3 across 3 active frontline all the way up. But I have to hit 10,000 with my own team. I have to hit 80,000 with my entire group. I have to have my 500 of my own PRV. If I don't do that, I'm not getting paid as a superstar consultant. I might be getting paid as a star director. I might be getting paid as a director. It just depends on the month. And quite honestly, you guys, it does go up and down. Once you get up higher in the ranks where it's harder to hit those numbers every month, because you might have you might have a bunch of people drop off. And so now you're working with less people. And that doesn't matter what title you're at when it comes to that. But I'm just using this because it is a big number, right? There are months where we hit it. There's months where we don't hit it. And when we don't hit it, then I get paid as a star director. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's different. It's a different commission check, but it happens to everybody. But it's, again, the paycheck and the perks, like being shown up on the consultant locator, are the incentives to work to get paid at whatever title your title requirements are. But like I said, that's often very confusing, especially with newer consultants that are getting those team bonuses. They're like, well, I hit lead. How come I didn't get paid on my team? Well, if you didn't hit the lead requirements, you're not getting paid on your team. So if you have somebody under you and you hit lead consultant and then that person falls off right away, like if they come out like gangbusters and then they just stop working, you're going to be back to getting paid as a certified consultant if you're not hitting those numbers every month. So that's the incentive to continuously working and being consistent in your business and your mentoring and your sponsoring, is to make sure that you're getting paid at title is what we always try to work for. Paid at rank is great because obviously you're hitting something, but paid at title is really what you want to work for, because you want to be hitting those numbers consistently, because as you do that, that's when you're going to start to creep up to that next level. Some of those numbers that look really big, whether it's 2,500 group wholesale or 6,000 group wholesale or 10,000 group wholesale, those numbers can be really big and really scary. But as you grow, they're not as big and they're not as scary. I remember thinking to myself, no way on God's green earth am I ever going to hit 10,000 GWV ever. And it was a struggle for a long time. But as you grow, it becomes easier and easier and easier. So you just have to continue growing, and none of these big scary things are going to be as big or as scary as they are when you're looking at them from day one. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else in here.
Oh, Sorry, I got
Sorry.
out of that.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't think there was anything else. I just wanted to touch on that because I know, like I said, that comes up a lot. Especially around payday when people are trying to figure out their paychecks. And so I wanted to make sure to clarify that. And these questions are still going to get up. I mean, I don't think we expect anybody to come to a training like this and then like be 100% versed in every single thing that we talk about. I can't even tell you how many times I have a conversation with Jamie or somebody else and it's like, I don't even remember. How do we do this? How do I flip a hostess? You know what I mean? Like we've all done it, but our brains are only equipped to hold on to so much information at one time. And so, please don't feel that like, because you came to this meeting, if you don't understand every single thing that Jamie talked about, there's nothing wrong with you. I have to look at the compensation plan all the time and I'm 7.5 years into this.
Do you
And
remember? Oh, sorry, Kim. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought
No, I
you,
was gonna say
you paused on my end.
there's people in Sensi that have been here for 15 years that probably have to look at the compensation plan. Like, we're not going to be able to retain all of this all the time. So if you still have questions, always, reach out and ask somebody because that's what we're here for. And we can, at least if we don't have an answer, we can point you in the direction of a resource that can help you.
Did you ever watch that show, Married with Children?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember, Kelly, the daughter, how she was like an airhead and she got to go on Jeopardy? I don't know if you remember saw that episode, but
I don't remember.
they filled her with information, right? But every time she would learn something new, something would fall out. Like it would literally fall out of her ear. That's how I feel most of the time with Sensi, because I feel like, oh, like today I really dug deep and I had to dig deep to find the will to do it. But I was watching project broadcast videos on YouTube. Like I forced myself finally because I get so overwhelmed with it. I'm like, I know this is going to pay off if I just learn it. Cause that's how I felt about Visily. But once I got that down, it was like, oh my God, this is a huge time saver. But the whole time watching these videos, I'm like, something else is falling out of my brain. I know it is.
It's a lot. There is a lot. And it's, I think I like that when we were talking about what we wanted to talk about for this month, like, and Jamie brought up numbers and compensation plan. I think that it was a great topic because especially for newer consultants, it is very overwhelming. I mean, you look at the compensation plan as a chart and it's just like completely Greek to everybody. And I get that. And even as you go through it, it takes a while for you to understand. Once you hit each level, that's when it starts to click because you can see those things happening in your paycheck. You can go into your commission history and you can open up all of the little menus and you can see where all of your paycheck is being made up and you can see the percentages. And the same thing with like your sales and everything else. You can see where things are coming from. And it's not until you're in that situation that a lot of times things click. And so I don't want people to feel like they have to memorize all of the things that Jamie talked about because you absolutely do not. These resources are available for us 24/7, 365. So if you have a question about something, you can always go to the workstation and look up the compensation plan. There's training videos. There's the slides that she was looking at. Those are all right off of workstation. So it's there for everybody. And we
sorry.
Go ahead.
I said, I also want to say it's okay if you just want to stay a certified consultant and not grow your team. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to do that. If you just want to sell it and you just want to hit your $200 a month to go get your nails done, that's perfectly fine. You do Sensi how you want to do Sensi. This is the thing that about this business is you work it how you want to work it. It's okay if you don't want to grow a team, but we are here if you want to and to help guide you in that direction.
Yep, absolutely. It's all we are independent Sensi consultants. So you're going to have people at every single level across the board. And there may be a day, it can go both ways. You may be completely content being a certified consultant. And then one day you might be like, I want to see if I can do more with this. And we will be there to help you. And honestly, it can go the other way too. You might be.
But you can't quit on a bad day.
You cannot quit on a bad day. You cannot quit on a bad day. You cannot quit when an LTO sells out instantly. You cannot quit when, I don't even know what else happens, when the workstation goes down or the reporting tab is bad or whatever. Like you just can't. But we're here as leaders, Leah and Hope and Jamie and me and Candace, like we're all here to support you guys in whatever capacity you need. And you need to be doing that for your teams as well. We can't want more out of someone's business than what they want out of it. And we have to meet them where they are. And it's been a lesson for me to learn too, because there's a lot of times that I feel like someone might have more potential than what they're putting out. And they may, but if they literally just want to do this, like Jamie said, to get your nails done or to, pay for your kid's soccer team or whatever, and they don't want to make it any bigger than that, that's absolutely okay. And we can't force people to do that. And so it's important for all of us, if you're on here and you have people underneath you, or even as you grow your team, you're going to have people that join that want to do something. You're going to have people that join that don't want to do anything. You're going to have people that join that don't do anything at all. And you can't take it personally. Everybody's in this for whatever their own reason is, and that's okay. And we just have to keep moving, and we focus on our business and we do the way we want to do it. So, who is that? 954942. I don't know who that is, but
I don't either.
I don't either.
that person never planned on hitting lead, and it just happened.
Right, but we are encouraging it.
I love it. But in a lot of times, like at least for me, just my personality, the way I am, like she said, I work my business a little harder. Oh, it's Krista. I work my business a little harder than I did before hitting lead. And I feel like for me, like I'm a competitive person, but I'm competitive with myself. Like I always want to beat my number from the month before. I don't care about what anybody else is doing, but I want to be better than I was yesterday, or better than I was last month or last year, or whatever it is. And it's not just in Scentsy. It's like if I go for a walk, or if I go for a run or whatever, like I want my time to be faster, or I want more steps today than I took yesterday, whatever it is, that's just me. But
And I have to say that I get more excited when my team and my people promote than like that. Like I just get like a high from that, man. Like I
have to tell you
like
guys,
it so much more than myself.
I am addicted to checking the incentive tracker right now to see people. Like I wish I could see everybody's actual numbers, like of bars and pods. And I feel like I want to ask people every day, like, what's your update? What's your update? And it's not because I'm like, did you hit it yet? It's like, I want to know where people are at, because we had Diane hit it today. Kim hit it, has hit it. Gina hit it. I'm trying to think of who else. Somebody else hit it. Who else hit it? Candace Roberts hit it. Like I'm getting so excited every time Hope makes a post about somebody being over 1,000 PRV. I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. Like it's so fun to watch other people do well. Like, and it sounds corny, but it really is. It really is
fun. I agree.
I'm making pictures for everybody as they hit the incentive, and I'm going to make a post and I'm going to put everybody's pictures in it. And then I'm just going to keep adding pictures as people hit it. We've already got 4 or 5, I think maybe 5. Diane might've been the 5th one. We've already have at least 4, maybe 5 people that have hit it. We still have over a month left to go. We've got a handful of people that have already hit one of the 2. And just by looking at everybody else's numbers, like people are well on their way there. We can very easily get like 50 people or more to hit this incentive. I'm so excited. So anywho.
And you can view how many bars and pods you've sold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you go below your rings, underneath it, it says, how can I earn this incentive, or how do I earn this incentive? And there's like a little down arrow. If you click that, it'll open up a little box and it'll tell you how many bars you've sold and how many pods you've sold. So you can track, and it updates every day at like 2 a.m. So any club orders should process before that update. So when you wake up in the morning at 7 or 8 or 6 or 10 or whatever time you wake up, it should be current as of that morning. And it is exciting, isn't it, to like log in every day and see what your numbers are? I'm such a weirdo.
We love numbers here.
Yes.
I swear that's why I'm in banking.
They run the world, numbers.
They do.
I'm still laughing about the competitive thing because I'm totally that person too. Like I never classify myself as being competitive, maybe with myself, but I live with a bunch of competitive people. Like my husband is so damn competitive and it drives me insane. Like we played pickleball on vacation and you would have thought I was playing for $5,000. I was like, dude, like, I'm just here to have a good time. Okay. Where's my drink? Like, that's me. And he's like, I swear, he will wake up in the morning going, it's been a long time since I've touched a basketball. I said, I have never had that thought in my 42 years of living. I have never woken up going, God, I wish I would have touched a basketball today. Yeah, we laugh about it all. I get tickled about it because I'm definitely competitive with myself, like you were saying about PRV and numbers and what I did last year versus this year. Or the big thing is how this is where I am hard on myself slash competitive because how can I get my teammates to like, promote or have the excitement of earning a trip or doing the things that, I have gotten to do and got that rush from. So that's where I feel like I get competitive like that versus when was the last time I held a basketball?
Right. Right.
Uh,
I think this incentive, like I personally am so glad that they finished this three-tiered incentive with this because I like that they started with sponsoring because that across the board, sponsoring is more difficult than sales. And so they started with that. They went to club and then they went to this PRV. It's 100% on you. 100 bars, 25 pods, like it's 100% in your control to do. And I feel like getting to the third, I'll tell you guys, I didn't earn the first or the second level of this one. I did not earn either one of them. And it was the month from March until May are crazy months at preschool. And so my business kind of takes a backseat to the end of the school year. And of course I tried to earn them and I didn't, but no, finding out on whatever June 1st that the last leg of the incentive was something that I knew I could do. It like relit the fire in me because I very easily could have been like, well, I'm not going to hit anything in this incentive because I didn't hit the first two. So why bother for the third one, right? But once I saw it and I was like, I can totally do this. Like, I love that they finished it with something that's so attainable for so many people. I mean, the numbers that we already have as a team, the people that have been showing me, like I said, I'm super excited to see at the end of July how many people in this group actually earn it because it should be a lot. And I like that it's really going to light a fire because for most people, this is going to be their first incentive that they've earned. And it's exciting because if you're one of those people who's competitive, when we find out what the fall incentive is going to be, you're going to be like, I'm going to hit that one too. I got the last one. I want to get the next one, right? And it kind of lights a fire. So I love that they ended with this one. Confidence boost, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with the way they structured this one. So this is we have until the end of July. So all of June and all of July, they were 2-month increments, right? June and July. Yeah, June and July. I was thinking May and June at first. No, June and July, because then at the end of July at SFR, we'll find out what the fall incentive is, and that'll start on August 1st, right? August, September, October.
Yes.
I don't know. Months are like, I don't know. Everything is like one big, it's like January, February, March, all the way through the year. So
I read this thing.
we still have like 50 days. I don't know.
I feel like 2023 is just like running out the door. I don't know. It's
crazy.
weird. Like I woke up, I was like, oh my God, it's already June. It's halfway through the year already. What the heck? Yeah.
Yep. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hopping on, Jamie. Thank you for going through all of that. I think it probably cleared up a lot of stuff for some of our newer consultants, and I know I appreciate it. I always like the refresher. Of what
How do I give this back to you?
Let me see.
Can you just take back control?
Oh, I can remove the pin, and then hold on. I don't know. Can I do that? Okay, I can't because I have to. Oh, can I go back and make myself a host?
Is it under view?
Hold on.
I think it's under view, maybe.
View. Let's see.
I don't have a view on my side. I have a stop recording on my side, but will that mess up for your computer to not get recording?
No, I don't know. Hey, friends. I mean, you guys can hop off. We're done. We're just going to figure out how to end the meeting. So thank you guys for hopping on. I don't know, Jamie. I thought it would say like, make myself the host again. Can you remove your host, like relinquish your power?
Oh, I made you host again.
Okay. Yeah, now I can end the meeting. Okay. Whoever's still here. Thanks for coming, you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.